The penultimate home game of the regular season coming your way as Rangers baseball is presented by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts. It is game 2 between the Rangers and the Mariners on tap here today, and the Rangers riding some good momentum headed into this one, winners of their last 3. But you know what they say about momentum? It's only as good as your starting pitcher, and the Rangers have a good one going for them tonight, as we see in our Shiner Box spotlight. Jordan Montgomery getting the ball in this one, and his numbers in his last 2 starts, strong to quite strong. There you see him, 7 innings pitched in each one of those, giving up just 1 run in his last 14 innings. That's inclusive of those 2 outings. 3 strikeouts in that one against Toronto, and then last one versus Boston, 8 strikeouts. Jordan Montgomery really rounding into form at the most important time of the season, CJ.
Yeah, he certainly is. We'll take a look at some of these pitching stats for Jordan Montgomery, brought to you by Daspit Law Firm. This will be his 31st start combined between the work he's done with the St. Louis Cardinals and the Texas Rangers. He's 3-2 as a Ranger in his 9 starts with a 3.29 ERA. How about the pitch arsenal for the big left-hander? Got that 2-seam fastball that sits at 93 to go along with the changeup, curveball, 4-seam fastball, and cutter as well.
He's set to go. Game 2 of this 3-game series. In the first pitch, that one runs inside, ball 1 on J.P. Crawford. Rangers winners yesterday by a score of 8-5. And that was a huge win last night, vaulting the team over Houston and back into first place by themselves for the first time since August 24th. They were tied. In fact, it was a 3-way tie for first place on August 29th. But the last time they were there alone, last month, and nearly a month to the day, as that one misses in on Crawford, and it's 2-1. Crawford, the only left-handed hitter in the lineup for Seattle tonight. 16 homers, 57 RBIs to his credit, and he takes strike 2. He does walk a lot. 4th in the league with 88 walks this year. Time called by Crawford. His 1 timeout he's allowed per at bat. So he'll take his time to get reset. Mariners 84 wins, 69 losses, now a game out of first in the division. Montgomery's 2-2, and a bouncer back to Jordan. He'll run it halfway to first, underhand it the rest of the way. Crawford retired to start the game.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the Rally House defense here this evening. Behind Jordan Montgomery of Evan Carter, Leody Taveras, and Adolis Garcia left to right in the outfield. It's Josh Young and Nathaniel Lowe on the corners, with Corey Seager and Marcus Simeon up the middle, and Jonah Heim is once again behind the plate.
And always good to get that first man. Now Julio Rodriguez, dangerous hitter. Center fielder with 31 homers, 100 RBIs. And he lays off a pretty good fastball there for ball 1. Kind of a slow start for Rodriguez this year, but it has been a furious finish. He has been really good in the second half, and he pops this one up back behind the plate, and that one ends up in the stands, but barely. 1-1.
I got deked by Jonah there. Right, since he didn't go all the way to the net. Like, we have a good read, we can see it, but you're never quite sure with those pop-ups because there's a lot of backspin on it. And the way Jonah was looking at that, I thought he had a chance to catch it in the middle of the track. He got me.
I'll be honest with you, I almost thought I saw it hit one of those rafters up there.
Oh, wow.
I was wondering if that might have had an effect or get called. The 1-1 pitch. There's a swing and a miss, strike 2. And it's a good changeup from Montgomery.
That's the neutralizer for Jordan Montgomery against the right-handed hitters. Just a 240 batting average against this changeup for righties. It's a lot like that 2-seam fastball that he likes to throw on the outside corner to right-handed hitters.
Heim sets up away, the 1-2, and that misses low. Let's wait for that changeup again. Mentioned Rodriguez, a great second half. He was the player of the month for August, a .429 average in August. 10 doubles and 7 homers. And he shoots that one up the middle. Taveras on the run. He can't get to it, and it scoots past him all the way to the wall. And Rodriguez had his 36th double of the year.
Mislocation here against Julio Rodriguez. Four-seam fastball. You're going to see Jonah Heim reach back over at the top of the strike zone, but over the middle of the plate. They're trying to go up and in, which is a great pitch, especially after the back-to-back changeups. But because he missed his spot, that gives Rodriguez a chance to get the arms extended. And this ball had some heat on it, 104 off the bat. We know Leotis got those great legs, but he couldn't cut it off.
So man in scoring position for Teoscar Hernandez.
Did you see these numbers, by the way, for Hernandez against Jordan Montgomery? He's the only guy on this entire roster that has more than 3 plate appearances against Jordan Montgomery. He's got 18. He's 1 for 16 with 7 strikeouts. It's good for an .063 batting average.
It's Onage from Montgomery. Bouncer shortstop, and they'll go to third, and they get Rodriguez. The play was in front of him. They teach you not to test the shortstop in a spot like that, but Rodriguez did, and he is a critical out in the first inning. Nice play by Seager.
It's just bad base running. No two ways about it here from Julio Rodriguez. That play is right in front of him. It's his job to know where Corey Seager is. You got to know where your defenders are, and it's a great heads-up play by Corey Seager. That is deflating for the Mariners after the 1-out double to no longer have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs.
Well, a huge play here in the first. And now Cal Raleigh, their cleanup man, he homered yesterday. Has 30 home runs now for the year, and he takes upstairs ball 1. Remember that play. Just maybe put a little star next to it or something in your scorebook. That may be one we revisit a little bit later in today's game. Hernandez, modest lead at first. And that's lifted right side, foul ground. May be playable for Lowe. He's over. He's got it. And the inning is over. So a double for Rodriguez, but nothing else doing. And now here come the Rangers in the bottom of the first. And now the Rangers turn. The Rangers 85-68, a half-game lead in the American League West, and they will lead it off tonight with Marcus Semien at second base. Corey Seager at short follows, and then it's Nathaniel Lowe at first. Young at third, Garcia in right field, Heim catching. It's Garver, Taveras, and Evan Carter at the bottom of the order.
Let's go ahead and get to our Daspit Law Firm starting pitcher stats here for Logan Gilbert. 13-6 overall record in his 30 starts. Really nice ERA. You can see his 17 quality starts. That is tied for 8th most in the American League. He has given up 27 home runs this year, but certainly has been a really good pitcher with a good strikeout rate and an unbelievable walk rate. Four-seam fastball, slider, split, and curveball all in there for the right-hander. Not surprising, the split has been a big pitch for him. Just a 168 batting average against. He's got 67 strikeouts on his split. He actually has 3 pitches in which he has gotten 50 or more strikeouts on this year. The four-seam fastball, the slider, and the split.
Marcus Semien will start it off for the Rangers. 0 for 4 yesterday with a strikeout. On the first pitch, this one fouled back out of play. Marcus leads the league in hits and in runs. He's 11th with a .278 batting average. He's driven in 95 runs, good for 6th most in the league. And he hits it sharply on the ground, third base, but that's playable for Suarez, and Semien retired, 1 away. So here comes Corey Seager. Seager 2 for 4 with a home run yesterday. His 32nd homer of the year. That's 6th most in the American League. He leads the league with a .333 batting average. And he'll take inside ball 1. 94 RBIs for Seager. Gilbert's 1-0 pitch, and that one's pulled down to first, but an easy play for Ty France as he feeds Gilbert. 2 away.
Time now for some StatCast powered by Google Cloud as we take a look at Nathaniel Lowe and some history against Logan Gilbert over the course of his career. 9 hits that he has, 7 of those are singles and 2 doubles. That's good for a .429 batting average against. And so for Nathaniel, a very nice matchup here against Logan Gilbert.
So Suarez almost by himself on the left side of the infield now with Lowe up there. How about this infield alignment for Seattle? Lowe, who's so good at using the entire field.
That was interesting. After one pitch, you saw him back up a little bit, and it was a ball. So Nathaniel was still ahead in the count. I will tell you, if I'm setting up the defense and I want to move them around a little bit, I feel much better about Suarez being there than I do when he's in with all that room. It gives Nathaniel all kinds of opportunities to get a ball by him.
2-1 the count on Lowe. Gilbert, 26 years old. It's his 31st start this season. He was last year's Mariners MVP, most valuable pitcher, by the Seattle chapter of the Baseball Writers Association. Former first-round pick, a Stetson Hatter, Stetson, Florida. He was 14th pick overall in 2018, and he runs that one in tight. Full count. Well, Lowe, he's done a really good job of working the count to his advantage. A 3-2, and that's fouled away.
So you see good velocity there. It's 97 from Logan Gilbert. We told you last night that of pitchers that have thrown at least 1,000 four-seam fastballs this year, that Bryce Miller has the highest spin in baseball. Logan Gilbert has the lowest. And 2 extremes for guys that use their fastball a lot. So for me, that means that that fastball is a little bit more hittable, a little bit more of a contact pitch.
This one lined to third and caught by Suarez. Suarez positioned way up the line, makes a nice play, and it's a 1-2-3 bottom of the first. Well, scoreless first inning for these two clubs as we head to the second. And updating the wild card standings now because Toronto just lost. They were in Tampa and the Rays just walked it off 7-6. So here's your updated look at the wild card. Rays, Blue Jays, Astros holding the third wild card, and the Mariners a half game back at the moment. So there's a lot to play for both teams in tonight's game here. As Eugenio Suarez fouls off strike one. These two teams battling for the division, battling for a wild card spot. Suarez, 21 homers, 90 RBIs this year. And he'll go after the one strike pitch from Montgomery. Pop up in the short right field. Easy play for Garcia, 1 away.
Let's go ahead and take a look at our AT&T Fiber fast pitch here. And regarding Jordan Montgomery, and one of the things that we've seen here lately in the development for him, and it's been a lot of fun to watch, is that usage on the breaking pitch. He just threw a curveball there to get that fly out against Suarez. Over his last 3 games, we've seen the usage come up, and we've seen the numbers get even better. Batting average down to 111 over his last 3. A chase rate of nearly 50%. We certainly noticed that his last couple in particular. We'll see if the Mariners are a team that are going to offer it that curveball outside of the strike zone. He's been very effective here lately for Jordan Montgomery.
It falls behind Ty France, 1 ball, no strikes. And his next offering, that one right in there. Eases the sinker in to make the count 1-1. France just 10 home runs, 56 RBIs. While the average below 250, he still gets on base a reasonable amount. This one fouled away. He's a little bit above league average. 335 on base percentage. But it has not been a great year for Ty France. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and this one lined by first. That's a base hit. France is on here in the second.
The one area that's been decent for him, I said decent, good batting average at 296 against lefties. OPS though at 763, two-seam fastball. They try to throw it front door, and that front door two-seam fastball is really going to be on the inner third. Black is even better, and that one creeped over the middle, and France served it into right field.
Got a big hug from Christopher Negron, their first base coach. And now the first offering to Dylan Moore is low, ball 1. For France, that stopped an 0 for 8 for him. He was just 1 for 16 on the road trip. That's why he and Negron were an embrace down there. He was just so happy to spend a little time with the first base coach. Here's the 1-0. And that's fouled off.
We saw a little bit of a different lineup yesterday for the Mariners, obviously with the lefty going tonight and the right-hander yesterday. You understand why, but something I noticed here with this bench is they don't really have the match, right? When they get the left-handed starter, the kind of the guys that they will give opportunities to, and a guy like Dylan Moore hasn't been great against lefties this year.
1-2.
We saw Haggerty yesterday. Same kind of thing as a switch hitter. Doesn't have great numbers against lefties, so they're almost like they don't have that answer when they want to make an adjustment on a couple of spots in their lineup off the bench the way that the Rangers did.
Montgomery ready, the 1-2 pitch, and a swing and a miss. He got him on the curveball. There's his first strikeout of the night.
And he got him to chase it, just like we were talking about, that nearly 50% chase rate for Jordan Montgomery. This breaking ball goes straight down outside of the strike zone by a considerable amount. This one's lighter and tighter, excuse me, later and tighter. Not so much that big breaking ball that we'll see sometimes from Jordan Montgomery. Might have been lighter, I don't know. They all weigh the same, don't they?
Seems like they would, yeah. Here's Haggerty, and he'll take on that inside corner for a strike. Good curveball again. Sam Haggerty, switch hitting left fielder. 244 average. He chases off the plate. The changeup that time, 0-2. We've got a great Saturday crowd here tonight, and they have been into it here from the first pitch. Some encouragement from the scoreboard and whatnot, but they'd love to see Montgomery get a K to end the second. Two-strike offering, and a swing and a miss. He did get this strikeout. Another curveball. And Montgomery with 2 scoreless frames to get us going here tonight. Now, this Rangers offense looking to get it going in the second. Josh Young will lead it off when we come back.
No score, bottom 2 here at Globe Life Field in the second game of a 3-game series between the Rangers and the Mariners. Josh Young up for the Rangers, and Bruce Bochy taking a page out of the "If it ain't broke, don't fix it" book and going with the same lineup for the 3rd straight day. He said he likes the way this one is constructed, likes the way the guys kind of pass the baton, really stretches things out, especially of course with the contributions from that 9th spot and Evan Carter and the contributions that he has. I know, don't ever tell him I said that. Evan Carter and the contributions that he has, but really just like I said, going with that, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Things are working well right now, and hopefully that continues here today. And nobody tell Evan I just dropped his name.
So I'd say this, I suspect we'll see this lineup quite a bit the rest of the way. We were having the conversation off air, and when do you get Jonah Heim the rest, right? That's the one piece, of course, that you really want to keep an eye on. Also, see, I haven't looked yet to see the probables against the Angels. They have some left-handed starters in their rotation, so it might look a little different.
High in the air out to center field. Easy play for Rodriguez out there. Young retired to start the second. So now Adolis Garcia.
And I think you do want to keep Robbie Grossman sharp, right? He's been a big contributor to the Ranger offense. That's the other part of it. And trying to get him his at-bats when you can, because you will need him, especially against some of that left-handed pitching.
Garcia takes off the plate, ball 1 here. Adolis has been moved down the order since his return off the injured list. And it looks like it's been a pretty good fit, batting in the 5th or 6th spot generally. That's inside. 2-0. I don't know if that simple maneuver helped change his mindset or give him a slightly different way to approach things, but his approach, I don't think there's much debate, has been decidedly better since that move was made. He's been so much more patient and discerning up there. He still has the same power, 35 homers, 100 RBIs, and he hammers that ball but foul. 2-2.
Yeah, he fits anywhere for the most part in the lineup. You look at the kind of the first 6 or even 7 spots if you have to, because the lineup runs so deep. I think with him, one, you got to make sure he's comfortable and kind of catching his groove back, which we have seen after getting activated on Monday. And then you want to put him in what you think are the most RBI situations as possible, because he is so good at driving in runners. And there's not a bad spot, whether he's batting 3rd or 4th or 5th. He's going to drive runs in.
Gilbert's 2-2, and that one gets away from Raleigh. Full count.
But what I'm most curious about, 0 for 3 yesterday, he did have a walk, and he's wearing different shoes today. Is there a correlation there?
Three-2 pitch, and that's lined out into left field. That's a base hit. In fact, extra bases for Garcia. He pedals for second. He'll be in there. His 28th double of the year.
Of course it's the shoes. It's got to be the shoes for Adolis Garcia. And pretty sure he'll be wearing those tomorrow as well. But watch him get a hold of a 4-seam fastball here from Logan Gilbert and be right on time. That's 98 miles an hour coming in and 98 on the way out for an easy double.
First Rangers base runner of the night. He's in scoring position. The Rangers were 3 for 6 with runners in scoring position yesterday. And Jonah Heim, a great run producer himself. He takes strike 1. 91 RBIs for Jonah. He's got a shot of getting to 100 this year. Rangers could have four guys in the lineup with 100 RBIs when it's all said and done. Jonah's going to have to rack a few up here in this last week and change of the season. The Lord knows he can do it. 6 RBIs over the last 3 games. 1-1. And that is strike 2. And 91 RBIs for Jonah already. A career high for him. Tied for second most ever by a Rangers catcher. Pudge drove in 91 runs back in 1998, and Pudge holds the all-time catcher's record for the franchise, set the next year when he drove in 113. Bouncer up the middle, and to his right, Caballero. He'll throw out Heim for the second out of the inning. It does get Garcia to third base. All right, let's slide over here a moment, make room for Academy Sports and Outdoors. So a man at third for Mitch Garver, but 2 away. And he'll take right down the middle for strike 1. Garver 1 for 4 yesterday, drove in a couple of runs. Just 2 hits on the homestand. He's in a hole, 0-2. Gilbert needed 11 pitches in the first inning. He's at 15 pitches already here in the second, but basically fairly efficient, and that's low. 1-2 the count. Just buried the slider to Garver. Probably not bashful about coming back with another slider. Yeah, this one on the ground and cued. Pass, first base hit. That gets the first run of the game across the plate. Garcia in from third, and it's 1-0 Rangers.
Well, they all count the same big smiles there from Mitch Garver, because this was a split finger fastball. Good look at the grip that tied him up a little bit, but he does a nice job of being short and finding a way to put it in play. Just 66 miles an hour on the exit velocity, but that is an RBI single all day long. Heck of an effort there from Ty France to try to get to that baseball. And that is a thing of beauty for Mitch Garver.
And now it's Taveras, and he'll put it on the ground near second. And that ends the inning. But the Rangers do get that first run of the night. Garcia with a double. Garver brings him home, and it's 1-0 Rangers. Casinos and Resorts game within the game. How about the last 13 games? Rangers at 9-4. That means they've been 4 games better than both Houston and Seattle, both of whom have struggled a little bit to 5-8 marks in the last 2 weeks. Trying to improve on that even further here tonight as Montgomery dives right in with strike one to Jose Caballero, the second baseman for Seattle. Caballero, .225 hitter. And he'll take outside, 1-1. Montgomery, a couple of strikeouts and 2 scoreless innings so far. The lefty's been so good lately for the Rangers, and he's ahead here, a ball and 2 strikes. And it felt like he's a great one to have out on the mound at any point in this series. Rangers were happy that it lined up that way. Acquired from the Cardinals at the deadline. The 1-2. That's too tight.
It's a good combination, though. You get the chase on the changeup again, trying to go in with the fastball, knowing for Jordan Montgomery today with all these righties, the couple of switch hitters. So you mentioned it earlier, just one straight lefty. So essentially 8 righties today to be able to locate that fastball in. It does pair nicely with the changeup. That's a good one right there.
Stays 2-2. Well, the way it lines up now too for Montgomery is he'll obviously pitch tonight's game, but then his next start will be the opening game in Seattle on Thursday. 2-2 pitch in the dirt. And that'll be the final regular season series of the year. And who knows what the standings look like and where these two teams will be situated at that point. Obviously, plenty can still happen between now and Thursday. But that's a nice way to be able to start it. 3-2, and Caballero just stays alive.
Jordan Montgomery has pitched at, I almost said Safeco, T-Mobile Park just once in his career, back in 2021 with the Yankees.
Now, Scott Servais was asked about him today before the ball game, and on the one hand said, well, we've seen him before. That was 2021, a long time ago. 3-2 pitch, and a bouncer down to third. Good backhand stop for Young, and a strong throw across the diamond in time to get Caballero. That's a nice play.
He's playing some really good defense. I know we saw the error in yesterday's ball game, but he has made a lot of good plays. He's been in the middle of everything since his return on Monday from the IL. The backhand, and then as you mentioned, just an absolute rocket across the diamond to get Caballero.
Well, that's a big out for Montgomery. He had to put in a little work there to get Caballero. J.P. Crawford, he'll take strike one. Crawford bounced back to the mound in the first inning. 0 for 1 tonight.
So remember we said the other day Josh Jung made a really nice play, and it looked like he threw a laser from the third base position. He was a little bit deep, and I said that's the hardest throw he's had all year, and I'm probably pretty pumped up and happy to be back. That last one was exactly the same. And so this week with all that rest, he's coming back really strong in the arm, obviously feeling really good. The 2 hardest throws that he has had on outs this year have come this week.
Well, you could see on that last one he needed every bit of it. It was close. One-two from Montgomery, and this one a soft liner out over second. That drops in for a base hit, and Crawford is aboard.
So we're talking about the Josh Jung defense, and I mentioned how much we have seen it from him, and we'll show you some of that defense again, activated on Monday and getting tested right away. Started seeing that this year. Saw it last year as well a little bit, but much improved this year. And there was some talk about whether or not Josh Jung might have a shot at a Gold Glove. Now the time missed maybe ends up costing him, but the Rangers are thrilled obviously to have him back. You can see that .987 fielding percentage. That leads all major leagues when it comes to the third baseman.
So Julio Rodriguez, he doubled in the first inning. Well, it's no coincidence, since Jung has been back, this team has looked a whole lot better. 1-0. And that tied up Rodriguez. A swinging strike, 1-1.
So you remember that bad base running mistake he made in the first inning, and I know you know this one, but the old but newer acronym that we saw, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, the two plan.
Yeah.
Thrown out on the bases like an incomplete as an official stat somewhere.
1-2. Started by some Cubs fans, I believe.
Oh, is that right?
Who were frustrated with some of the base running they were seeing at Wrigley, and they started tracking toot blands. It became this, kind of a funny little side note stat. It really blew up there for a while. I always got a kick out of that one. But that was definitely a toot plan. One ball, 2 strikes on Rodriguez. He does strike out a lot. 163 times this year. Montgomery with a long hold, and now the 1-2. Trying to curve him. That one didn't quite get in there. 2-2. Well, you're looking at one of the spectacularly talented young players in the game in Rodriguez. He is the heart of their offense, and he bounces it to third. Another good play by Jung, and Rodriguez retired. Crawford moves up to second base, but they're 2 out. So I mentioned, who knows when we get together on Thursday for that final series of the season how things will look. Well, at the moment they look pretty good, at least from the Rangers perspective, currently leading the division by a half game with Houston right behind them, and the Mariners a full game back. The difference, the one thing that is mixed in there with that half game is that Houston has played 1 game more than the Mariners and the Rangers, and that means Houston will have the day off next Thursday.
By the way, that looked like a timeout there from Jonah Heim. That'll count as a disengagement, I believe, for Jordan Montgomery.
Yep, it is.
And of course also you have the Rangers do not have the tiebreaker, so in order to win the division they have to win it outright, at least when it comes to the Houston Astros.
Yeah, I was going to say, but they do have it. Well, they don't have it yet with Seattle. They have won 6 and lost 1 in their season series with Seattle. One more Rangers win over the Mariners would ensure that they have the tiebreaker with Seattle. .1-0. That's downstairs. And just to take it to the necessary extremes, the other team in the wild card race right now, the Toronto Blue Jays, the Rangers have the tiebreaker with them as well. The only team that owns the tiebreaker over the Rangers is Houston. 2-0. That's off the plate. So Montgomery in a 3-0 hole to a guy who does have some power here in Hernandez. You can't just groove it. And in fact, he does not. He misses completely. And
it's odd though, right?
4.
Remember those numbers that we talked about and how good Jordan Montgomery has been against Hernandez, but he did not challenge him at all in that plate appearance.
It almost looked like, you know, from an amateur perspective that maybe that was the idea, right? First base open, don't even worry with him. But I can't imagine that would be the case with Cal Raleigh.
No.
Batting behind him.
He did go at him with a lot of off speed. That seemed like obviously that was the game plan, which, you know, again, a little unusual. We went changeup, curveball, changeup, and then missed with the fastball to walk him.
Now he starts Cal Raleigh with ball 1.
Say one more ball here, and you might get a Mike Maddox visit.
Yeah, flirting with danger just a little bit. Fouled away, 1-1. Crawford, the man out at second base, he got on via the base hit, and then Teoscar Hernandez walked just a moment ago. There are 2 out. Montgomery's 1-1. 2-1.
A couple of close ones there so far here this afternoon. Jim Wolf is our home plate umpire. He has not expanded the zone in, and I don't think he's missed any necessarily, but those close ones have not been called. And there is no mistaking Jim Wolf when he's behind the plate.
Slow roller toward third. That's foul. 2-2. So you're saying in a room full of major league umpires, you'd be able to pick out Jim Wolf pretty easily?
Everybody had ski masks on or whatever.
Yeah.
You could still figure it out.
Yeah.
Just look for the forearms and the biceps. That was funny right there. First of all, Josh Young did a good job. Looked like he might have caught that ball while he had a foot on the bag just in case they called it fair. But Manny Acta had his hands up, the third base coach for the Mariners, like, oh, I'll take the ball. And Josh just completely blew him off and threw the ball in the stands. They have no problem finding a vein when he's giving blood.
Oh, man. Jim Wolf, veteran umpire. And his brother Randy Wolf, longtime major league pitcher. Real good left-hander. 2-2, and that's inside. Good smother back there by Jonah Heim, but Montgomery has not looked right here these last couple of at-bats.
There's been a couple of curveballs that we have seen in this inning in which he has overthrown. He threw a similar one to Julio Rodriguez. Now it's been a great pitch for him, but almost like he's trying to make it do just a little bit more, and he spiked those when he's tried that.
So the Rangers just scored a run in the bottom of the second. And Seattle trying to answer here in the third. Crawford, second base, Hernandez at first. Dangerous. Cal Raleigh at the plate, 0 for 1. And here comes the payoff. Runners go, and there's a swing and a miss. A strikeout by Montgomery. Gets himself out of trouble in the third.
He does it with a good fastball here, 94 miles an hour, and taking advantage of a very aggressive Cal Raleigh here as he swings over the top of that heater from Jordan Montgomery to the approval of Jonah Heim.
Well, it's time now for our Coors Light beating the pressure. Evan Carter, pressure. I mean, he knows nothing about pressure. Doesn't feel it at all. 417 average. An OPS over 1600. I mean, he's slugging more than 1100 on this homestand. And he's talked about it. He's really doing his best not to think about the situations, not to fret about the standings or the magnitude of the at-bats in games. He's done a terrific job that way. He swings right through strike one here.
And when we watch him and we see that poise that he has, we've got to remember he just turned 21 years old. It really is incredible to see. His emergence from the draft, second round, 50th overall, caught a lot of people by surprise. that the Rangers went with that selection. A lot of people, meaning those who kind of cover prospects in the draft and the mock drafts, if you will.
He took a really tough strike right there.
Well, they call that a strike?
Yeah.
Wow.
1-2. He thought that the second pitch was off the plate, and he has a pretty good argument. But it was called a strike. And he had just the tiniest of glances back at Wolf. The 1-2, and he hits this one foul.
Take it back to some of what we've seen here with Evan Carter, and we see a little emotion too at the end of this one. It's going to be kind of fun, but he's got great speed. He does a great job putting the baseball in play. Right contact hitter with some surprise power here so far. It was a fun one when he hit that 3-run home run yesterday to see him pumped up rounding the bases.
Gilbert's 1-2, and that's bounced down to first. France backing up, has it, throws it to Gilbert. That was close. Alan Porter called him out, and the Rangers, looks like they will accept that.
And Ty France, I think, almost making an assumption. He obviously knows, but that Evan Carter could run, but he was a little bit slow to get this ball to Logan Gilbert. Even if Gilbert's a little bit late over there, you want to get in the ball as quickly as you can so we can get comfortable around the bag. They got him, but just barely in time.
So one gone now from Marcus Semien. Marcus grounded out his first time in, and he takes off the plate. Been a very productive couple of days here at home for Marcus, as these games recently have meant more and more. Semien seems to have locked it in just a little bit more. 13 home games this month. He's hitting .358 here at home with 5 homers. And he fouls that one away. Strike 2. How about our Ford leaderboard today? I mentioned earlier, Marcus was leading the league in hits. Well, at the moment, he's dropped into second because Julio Rodriguez had that double earlier to break the tie for the league lead. And he swings through this one, and that's strike 3. 2 gone.
It's interesting here to see with Logan Gilbert. 5 groundouts so far. He's not really a ground ball pitcher. Over his last 13 starts, only 2 games, he's had more than 5 groundouts. And he's got 5 already here this evening.
Including one with this guy at the plate, Corey Seager, as he takes ball 1. Two balls and no strikes, so he falls behind Seager. Not an enviable spot if you're Gilbert.
Gets an off speed here. His fastball, I mentioned, is not a swing and miss fastball. There's a lot of contact there.
Bouncer up the middle, and that one handled by Crawford. Seager retired to complete a 1-2-3 third inning. So we'll head to the 4th here tonight with the Rangers on top 1-0. Reminder that you can stream every out-of-market game live or on demand, all minor league games as well, with a great MLB.tv. Go there and check it out, get all the details. Blackout and other restrictions do apply. Eugenio Suarez will lead it off in the 4th inning for Seattle, and a curveball misses in from Montgomery. Rangers have the early lead. And Montgomery, for the first time last inning, looked maybe a little vulnerable. We'll see how he rebounds here. He goes 1-1 now to Suarez. Needed 27 pitches to get through the 3rd inning. Two and 1. Suarez has good power. And Montgomery gets him to shoot this one foul out of play. Five-game hitting streak going for the Mariners' third baseman. And he chases strike three. And Suarez strikes out for the 203rd time this year.
And he chases an elevated fastball 94 miles an hour. And again, he was trying to go in. Now that one misses up above the zone. That's a safe place to miss. And with Suarez and all those swings and misses, he knew right away he made a mistake when he started offering at that pitch.
So one gone. Here's Ty France. And he'll shoot it foul. And France, it's funny looking at his numbers this year. I said earlier, not as good a year for Ty France. It's quite possible because of that note we see at the bottom of the screen. It seems like he hits pretty well against the Rangers. That's a soft line out to short, 2 away. Bring up Dylan Moore, but first we hear from Choctaw Casinos and Resorts.
Fun, games, relaxation, or excitement. We've got all your bases covered at Choctaw Casinos and Resorts.
Moore takes off the plate here. Moore struck out in the second. He's 0 for 1. 4 strikeouts so far tonight for Gilbert. Oh, pardon me, for Montgomery. And that's downstairs. 2-0. Gilbert has just 1 strikeout tonight, so he was getting way too much credit there. A little bit of a struggle lately for Dylan Moore. He hits that ball hard though. Center field. Taveras is back and he will take that one off the top of the fence. For the moment anyway, that one is deemed to be in play. Moore has a double, but they may want to look at this, and this probably will be a.
But he's mad about it. You see that Dylan Moore thinks it was gone. I don't know how it would have bounced back, right? It had to hit the top of the yellow line to have that kind of bounce back. No, that quickly, unless it cleared the wall and hit off that back wall. But there's a lot of room between the outfield wall and then that wall back there. Yeah, very top. It came back.
Yep, that's just precision on the part of Dylan Moore.
Yeah, tell him, get in the weight room.
One more rep. And that is big. So a double for Moore. Just does stay in the yard. And that's big because now Montgomery can go to work on Sam Haggerty. Man, that is as close as you can get.
And Moore seemed convinced that was going to seem kind of angry that they did not call that a home run. That was a great call.
I can assure you I'd be angry. 1-1 on Haggerty. Moore off second base. It's been a bit of a grind for the Mariners with runners in scoring position. And that is just a little bit outside. Montgomery's had to use some more pitches here in these last couple innings. Three and one.
And he's kind of working the corners a little bit and missing. We saw it on both sides of the plate when he's going with the fastball into righties, changeup missing off, that curveball missing down. He actually has been really efficient in his time with the Rangers, averaging 14.6 pitches per inning, so less than 15. Really good number for Montgomery.
That's low ball 4. Second walk he's issued here in this one tonight, and that's been the high water mark since the Rangers have had Montgomery. He's walked 2 in a game. I want to say on 2 other occasions. as a Ranger. So
against the Twins both times in those back-to-back starts that he had against Minnesota.
So the walk puts
rate.
runners at first and second now.
The walk rate's been phenomenal overall this year. 6.1%. League average is just above 8, but as a Ranger even better. 4.2%. That one jumps off the page, and then you look at the other guy here, Logan Gilbert. Well, that's what he's done for the season.
Yeah, he's really good. Kind of surprising to see 2 walks already in the game. Here is Caballero. And he hits it on the ground, just foul. That was blistered too.
He was
About
on that
100 miles per hour.
He was on that 2-seam fastball and making sure he was on time and just a little bit out front. Now, think about kind of what works in this situation, right? If he's out front a little bit on the fastball, can you pull the string and get him really out front on the changeup? Montgomery seems to have just a little bit of an issue locating that, but he certainly can't get away from it. It's a really important pitch for him. We'll see where he and Jonah decide to go.
Oh, that one hits the bottom of the zone. There's that curveball. 0-2. So he'll be shooting for his 5th strikeout of the night. Stranded a couple of runners last inning, trying to do the same here. Here it comes. And he got him swinging. A strikeout of Caballero. They'll throw him out at first, and the inning is done.
But a really nice bounce back for Jordan Montgomery after the double and then the walk. Gets ahead very quickly, 0-2, and then buries this curveball. Caballero chases it outside the strike zone.
Chevy under the hood time here in the bottom of the 4th, and tonight we find yesterday's starting pitcher Dane Dunning. Favorite pizza? Spicy salami. That's how he liked, just like everyone else, teleporting. Favorite food? His mom's Korean food. I would like to sample some of Dane's mom's Korean food if she's watching. Hook his sister up.
Yeah, no doubt it would taste good, but you better be ready for spice.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah, I'm a little soft in that area, not my strength. Everything. I played that country for 2 years is spicy.
And you know, it didn't work for you?
No, luckily there's plenty of Western options.
Nathaniel Lowe leading it off here in the 4th inning. And Gilbert deals high, 1-1. So like Western options, like what was your bailout?
Yeah, KFC, Outback Steakhouse is a big one in Asia to be able to run across. Yeah, it's a nice find.
Huh. Soul crushing right there. The 1-1 in the air center field. And Rodriguez takes care of it. 1 away. So no like bulgogi or
no, I definitely tried it all. I just wasn't my palate.
So here's Josh Young now. Now I've never been to Korea. Obviously you played there. When I see like these Korean barbecue places stateside,
yeah,
I mean that just seems like barbecue places.
I want to be very careful about what I'm about to say. I don't want to make anybody upset, but you know the Korean barbecue both in Korea and Japan. There's like almost like a Japanese version of Korean barbecue.
Okay.
Which is less spicy, and I'm going to say it. I'm going to regret it. I like the Japanese version of Korean barbecue better than Korean barbecue.
Interesting.
But again, it goes back to the spice. But it's all fun. You've done it before. Cook food in front of you. It's a blast.
Young pulls this one third base. High hop for Suarez and a high throw, but pulled down by France. So Young is retired. 2 away.
My oldest loves it. That is his go-to every time. Like the special meal is the Korean barbecue. So I mean that's what we're doing. If we're going to Dane's house to have Korean barbecue, I will be there.
Okay, yeah.
Get some of that cow tongue.
It's Garcia, and he'll take low, ball 1. Adolis doubled in the second. He had scored the game's only run. Came in on the Garver single in that second inning. Gilbert digging around for the ball, and now the 1-0 pitch. It's just a little bit up.
You know who's also going to Korea for the first time? MLB next year.
Oh,
yeah. With all the series that they've done and around the world and going to London and other places, they're going to Korea next year.
Keep waiting for that invite.
That's a big national thing. They're going to put that on for everybody to see. So you and I will be waiting a while for those invites.
Oh, wait, I will. The 2-1 inside with a fastball. Gilbert, I think, a little frustrated that he missed with that one. 3-1, so a dangerous count here to a very dangerous hitter. Let's see if he tries to come at him with a fastball again. No, he does not. And he gets him to swing over the top of the slider.
We talked about his great command. You just don't see very many walks at all from Logan Gilbert, and comfortable throwing Garcia a 3-1 slider, which gets in your head now as a hitter. So am I getting that again, or am I going to get the fastball, because he throws that fastball more than any other pitch?
I think he's getting the heater. 3-2. He got the heater, but it was low, and Garcia draws the 2-out walk. How about a message now from Baylor Scott and Whitehealth?
That tastes good.
Garcia on for Jonah Heim. Dolis has seen 12 pitches in his first 2 plate appearances tonight. And a breaking ball misses low here. That was the curveball. The knuckle curve from Gilbert. It broke just a little bit too far down. And now that one is up. The slider there. 2-0.
The Dodgers and the Padres playing 2 games, March 20th and 21st next year. They'll count as regular season games.
Okay, then there's the promise of a series in France a couple years from now, right? And maybe we're all hoping that maybe somehow Bruce Bochy will get the Rangers into that one. There's a foul ball. Makes it 2-1 on Jonah.
That seems like a natural fit.
Born in France. Grew up in a military family and saw the world as a result. Time in Panama. Ended up his high school days in Florida. Also spent some time in Virginia just before moving to Florida. So all over the world for Boch. The 2-1. Garcia's running. There's a swing and a miss. A throw down to second. Not even close. Stolen base for Adolis, his 9th of the year.
And Jonah offered at this pitch. I don't know if it's a hit and run. Let's take a look at Garcia. He peeks in, but he's going hard and thinking about the steal. We did see Jonah chase a pitch outside the strike zone. That 4-seam fastball up and in. I doubt that was a hit and run. It's 14 stolen bases now against Logan Gilbert this season.
Stays 2-2.
It's a nice round number for Adolis, 50th stolen base in his career.
Well, and importantly, it puts him in scoring position again. He scored on that base hit by Garver in the second inning. Maybe Jonah could pick up his 92nd RBI of the season. Here it comes. And this one flared over third. That's a base hit. Here comes Garcia. He'll score from second. Set up by the stolen base. Heim delivers the RBI. And the Rangers lead it 2-0.
It's a really nice job with Jonah. He's got 2 strikes on him. He's dealing with the big fastball, but again, it's not a swing and miss fastball. It's going to be 97 miles an hour. Look at that pitch on the black, and he fights it off just enough to get this thing into the outfield. And Garcia gets a great jump with 2 strikes, and scores easily. We've seen the Rangers matching the baseball all over the place. Today, it's been a little bit about the soft contact in the 2 runs that they have scored. And think about the ball that Mitch Garver hit. It was at 67 miles an hour, that little ground ball. And there's Jonah Heim with a little blooper. And that's how the Rangers have themselves 2 runs so far tonight.
Garcia has scored them both. And Garver turns that foul. 0-2. So off to a good start tonight. The Rangers have scored 10 runs now in the series. 6 of them have scored with 2 outs in the inning. And that's in the dirt. 1-2 the count. Well, the lineup has just been so much more consistent top to bottom this last week. Good solid at bats by everybody, and this one to the alley left field, coming on hard from left field. Haggerty, he gets to it on a hop. Heim will tiptoe into third. So Garver with a base hit, his 2nd of the night. And the Rangers have him cornered now in the 4th inning.
And once again, exit velocity overrated here for Mitch Garver, as this one came off the bat at just 72 miles an hour. It's a slider from Logan Gilbert, catches it off the end, which probably helps him in this spot. This gets that ball down quicker and squares it up just even a little bit more. It's going to hang in the air and very likely be a fly out. And for Jonah Heim, might have been a little bit surprised to see that throw coming in the third, as he had to pick it up a little bit there at the end.
So a visit for Gilbert out there. With 2 outs, he walked Garcia. And then Heim and Garver following with base hits.
There's not a lot to say, right? Again, it's weak contact. He's made good pitches outside of that walk, which we don't see very often. So if anything, that visit's more about just giving him a breather. We know how hot it can be down there, and these innings go really fast with a pitch time or something we've noticed this year. And for the Mariners right now, they just don't want this one to get out of hand.
A chance to deliver a big blow right here with Taveras at the plate. And it goes after the first pitch, a pop-up into short left field. Haggerty coming in, and that will end the inning. The Rangers will settle for the run. We go to the 5th inning. It's 2-0. Well, it's time for our 5th inning, presented by Audi. And what a night here at Globe Life Field. Big crowd. They've been noisy all night. Really into it. With tomorrow, the last home game of the regular season. Hey, such huge games against Seattle. They'll send the top of the order. And Montgomery goes to work. And strike 1 to J.P. Crawford. It'll be Crawford, Rodriguez, and Hernandez for the Mariners. Scoreless so far on 4 hits and a couple of walks. Crawford lifts it down the left field line. Heading foul. Young way over, and he'll make the play. Not an easy play either.
That certainly was not. And he was the only one that had a chance to get to this baseball. He's got a long way to run from his position and then try to tracking this baseball at the same time. He has no time to really kind of slow it down as he catches and then slides. It's a really good play from Josh Young.
Now Julio Rodriguez batting with the bases empty. And he'll tap this one right out in front of the plate. Easy play for Jonah. He takes care of Rodriguez, 2 away.
That's a thing of beauty right there. That is the biggest bat in this lineup. The Rangers just put a run on the board. We saw some adjustments from Jordan Montgomery to finish off the previous inning, and he comes out here making some really good pitches in the 5th.
So 2 gone, and Teoscar Hernandez, it looks like he used his timeout before the at-bat started.
Makes sense. How many pitches this inning? 3?
Well, that's a very good point, yeah. And there's strike one.
Because you also have to think about the flip side of that, right? If Jordan Montgomery can finish his inning really quickly, we saw Logan Gilbert have a little bit of a longer inning, had his back against the wall, and if you can get him back on the mound as quickly as possible, certainly the Rangers would take that. And so Teoscar Hernandez trying to do his pitcher a favor by calling that timeout.
Strike offering. And this one on the ground, just past a diving Seager. And Hernandez is on. He walked his last time up, a base hit here.
Take a look at this ground ball off the bat of Teoscar Hernandez, and you can see kind of Corey Seager giving it his best effort, but just not enough time to get there. He was played a little bit in the hole with the right-handed hitting Hernandez up.
So Cal Raleigh. Well, that's a little bit tight. Ball one. Raleigh has popped out and struck out.
Would have been nice about that for Jordan Montgomery. Not that it's too late, but it really would have got the pitch count kind of back in order. And sit there and mention, averaging 15 pitches or so per inning for him. 5 innings and 75 pitches. Put you right in line.
He ends it up 1-1 on Raleigh. There's the base runner Hernandez. That's high. 2-1. Montgomery can't get him to chase that one. Monty with 5 strikeouts so far tonight. But he's dealt with traffic all night, every inning. Mariners have had a little something going, including first and second in each of the previous 2 innings. 3-1 pitch, and that one is hit hard center field. Taveras is back. Will he have room? He does, and he makes the catch just in front of the wall. Anytime Raleigh hits it that far, you're concerned that it may go, but it stays in. It's another scoreless inning, and we're halfway there. It's 2-0.
Welcome back to the 5th inning, presented by Audi. The last half of the inning ended with a really nice defensive play by Leody Taveras. 2-seam fastball from Jordan Montgomery in the middle of the plate, and Cal Raleigh's got some big-time power. 30 home runs on the season for him, and I thought this one had a chance off the bat, but what a great job by Leody to get out there, track that one down, and make it look easy like he always does for the final out at the top of the 5th inning.
The Rangers have some outfielders who can cover some ground out there. And a really good year defensively for this Rangers team. Evan Carter, one of them, the left fielder. And he leads it off here. He takes a fastball on the corner for a strike. Again, my knee jerk is to say that was well off the plate, but kind of the rookie strike zone, it seems.
And kind of ironic, right, that it's been Evan Carter both times.
Bouncer down the line. That's a fair ball. And Carter will have extra bases. It's a leadoff double in the 5th.
Now that is a thing of beauty from Evan Carter. You're going to see the setup here down the middle, and they pretty much hit their spot. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Look how short he is. It got on him a little bit. It traveled deep, and that probably worked in his favor. A little bit of a funky spin on that ball as well, as it easily stays fair. And with the great speed, he gets the second with a stand-up double.
So now Semien, who's had a tougher day at the plate. 1 for 2 so far. A chance to bring in another run. Rangers on top, 2-0 in the 5th. Bouncer left side. Suarez reaches out for it, and he'll throw out Semien. One gone in the 5th inning. We check in with Emily.
Well, you really can't say enough about the job that Evan Carter has done in his brief time in the big leagues. And Bruce Bochy said, like, you know, his patience at the plate, his approach at the plate is so beyond his years. And he said stuff like that, the way he approaches it, his discipline at the plate can be contagious. And he feels like that's been the case with Evan Carter.
Yeah, it's been really impressive to watch as we see the intentional walk here to Corey Seager. It's not an easy thing to do. You think about a young player wanting to come to the big leagues and make an impression. We've talked about Robbie Grossman as the best Ranger hitter when it comes to chase. Evan Carter's just, what now, 15 games into his career. This is his 13th start. 7.5% chase rate.
Yeah.
Robbie Grossman's a little over 16, which is a phenomenal number. I mean, that is ridiculous to see him under 8. When you think about the league average when it comes to chase at 29%. That is absurd.
Lowe goes after the first pitch here. And that's a short fly ball left field. Boy, Haggerty almost overran it. Yikes. And that is the second out of the inning. Well, to your point, it's not, you would figure that's not sustainable.
No, I mean,
chase at just 7-point-some odd percent, but it's amazing.
I'd be surprised without looking that we've ever seen anybody have a full season under 10%.
The thing about it,
but I will look.
But if you think about it, right, the fact that it's happened in his first 2+ weeks in the big leagues makes it in a way that much more remarkable. If you're ever going to be jumpy and a little overly aggressive or overwhelmed, you figure it would be your first couple weeks in the big leagues. But instead, he's just calmed it right down. Now Young, he swings right through strike one. Carter's talked about it a lot. Young has talked about it here recently on his comeback from the injury, that broken thumb. He missed 37 games, and he told me the other day his entire goal was just to slow the heart rate down and not get too caught up in everything. He's been watching for well over a month, was anxious to get back, and he's done a really good job that way. He's just slipped right back in the orders, been productive, hasn't overdone it. Chance to deliver a big hit right here, though, the 1-1. Let's bounce down to third. Suarez will go to the bag himself. The inning is over. So the Rangers will leave a couple. And so the 6th inning comes up here tonight with the Rangers on top, 2-0. So it's 2-0 Rangers. We've made it to the 6th inning. Hey, by the way, American League Division Series tickets for Rangers home games, well, they go on sale on Monday. Rangers.com/postseason. The way to get involved, again, that's going to be on Monday. So tomorrow, the final home game of the regular season, and then those postseason tickets going on sale on Monday. So that's going to be exciting. Montgomery back to work here, and a first pitch curveball in there, strike one to begin the 6th. It's got Suarez, France, and Moore. Suarez 0 for 2, a fly out and a strikeout. And he holds off here.
So Montgomery's last 2 outings leading up to this one, 7 innings apiece, just the 1 earned run allowed. He had the game against Toronto, 7 shutout, the game against the Red Sox, 7 innings and 1 run, 95 and 97 pitches. And I say that because as he gets ready to throw number 85.
This one lined out to Evan Carter in left field, 1 away.
And we keep an eye on the pitch count, keep an eye potentially on the bullpen with just a 2-0 lead. He's been relatively efficient, had that rough 3rd inning where he threw the 27 pitches. But other than that, it's been pretty good for Jordan Montgomery. 11 strikeouts to just 1 walk in those 2 outings.
Well, bullpen quiet at the moment. And he is the best the Rangers have going these days. Another curveball to start this at bat.
There's some numbers that we're talking about how those outings went for him against the Blue Jays. In Toronto was a big one, and then against the Boston Red Sox here.
This ball hit hard out to left, again right to Carter. And France retired.
It's a good way to keep the pitch count down. Let him hit it hard right at your defenders. A couple of good swings, and they've worked in the favor of Jordan Montgomery.
We'll bring up Dylan Moore. And keep in mind that the final swing of the previous inning was that deep fly ball to center field by Raleigh. That's okay. Use the dimensions of the ballpark and your defense to your advantage. Now Moore asked for time after a couple of quick outs.
Is that 3 pitches too? Let's do it.
Yeah, it's more like 5 pitches to this point.
Right.
They have made some quick outs. They did yesterday too. Remember yesterday, the first pitch of the game was a ground out by Crawford, but already been 11 outs by Mariners hitters tonight that have happened in 3 or fewer pitches. 1-0, and there's a bouncer third base. Young charges, throws on the run in time, and they get Moore at first base. It's an 8-pitch 6th inning for Montgomery.
Well, Josh Young once again showing up with the glove. He's playing deep here, so he's got to come in and charge this ball, and he gets it on the run, and another really strong throw from the Ranger third baseman.
And there's a shot up the left side, fair. Rays are going to win it. Josh Lowe walks it off. Up the left field line, just fair, and the Rays scored 2 at the bottom of the 9th inning.
And Nathaniel's little brother doing work for Tampa Bay, so they get that victory today. The Blue Jays fall to 86 and 69. They still own one of those wild card spots. Houston right behind him. Seattle hanging off a half game back of Houston. Division standings, the Rangers on top right now in the West, which is huge. Leading today's game in Houston, by the way, they're trailing at home 3-0 to Kansas City again tonight. That game, bottom of the 5th.
So you get some brotherly help with the Lowe brothers. You had Cole Reagans, the former Ranger, chipping in yesterday with a nice game against the Houston Astros. Former Ranger Jordan Lyles going tonight for the Royals, has thrown 5 shutout innings against Houston. Takes a village, Dave.
Yeah. Lyles, who was drafted and developed by Houston. And coming back to haunt his former club, his original team. They brought him up as a 20-year-old many years ago. With Lyles dealing tonight. The 1-1 pitch to Garcia. And Logan Gilbert jumps ahead, a ball and 2 strikes. Garcia's been a very big character in today's drama. A double, a walk, and he has scored the only runs in the game. There's 2-2. Has a stolen base tonight.
Now he's got those shoes go with the powder blues tomorrow.
I mean, based on the way tonight's gone, yes. 2-2. And he strikes out swinging. One away. All right, we've got a moment now for Rally House.
Get ready for kickoff, Texas. Rally House has the game day gear you're looking for, including Cowboys sideline gear and the latest college style.
So keep an eye on this. Those last 2 pitches to Aroldis Chapman were splits, but they look like straight changeups. Oh, excuse me, to Garcia. Were splits, but had like no depth to them whatsoever.
Right.
They almost look like straight changeups. So you wonder. Pitch count's fine at 78, but he's out there for a 6th inning, and you see something like that, and sometimes can be a sign of fatigue. Now played well. Played like a really good straight changeup. That was not the intent from Logan Gilbert.
Gets a whiff there from Heim. 1-1. The tall right-hander's next pitch pulled foul. Well, this is, I guess, a fairly standard game for a Jordan Montgomery start, right? I mean, Montgomery has been so good this year. He's through 6 shutout. And the Rangers have given him 2 runs of support. Now, in the context of the game, you take it, right? 2-0, great. You have the lead, and the way Montgomery's pitching, it doesn't look like he's inclined to give up a whole lot. But it has been the case for Montgomery that his teams, whether it's the Rangers, the Cardinals, or the Yankees, they don't score for him. It's fouled off. Stays 2-2. And for the life of me, I cannot figure out why these things tend to follow certain pitchers the way they do. Maybe it's just that everybody feels like, well, he's not going to give up any runs. We don't have to do a whole lot. Doubt that, but 2-2. Full count. It just strikes me as fascinating that those trends exist, and they say pretty consistent.
He got 9 runs of support on opening day with the St. Louis Cardinals this year. He hasn't seen really anything close to that since.
3-2. Yeah, that's off the plate. 1-out walk to Jonah Heim.
Now, do you like run support for a starter like when he's in the game, or do you like the total? How many runs the team scores that day, even if he's knocked out or whatever it may be?
I feel like, in a way, I kind of feel like it's all about that game,
yeah.
Right? Like how it plays out in that game. Gilbert spins that one just a little bit in.
See how that one misses arm side a little bit. I think we're definitely seeing some fatigue, and I think the Mariners have picked up on that as well, as there's some action now down in their bullpen.
There's a strike. 1-1. Matt Brash, their right-hander, loosening down there, and he's one of their real good ones. You're talking about one of their stud high leverage guys. On 1 pitch, and that's strike 2. Garver thought that one just a little bit tall, but Jim Wolf gave it the strike call. Mitch has mastered the finesse shot today, the 1-2 pitch, and this is in the air right field. Moore wants it, and that is the second out of the inning. Bring up Taveras. Leote is 0 for 2, a ground out and a fly out. I'm not going anywhere at first base, and Leote swings right through strike 1.
Another split there that didn't really have much depth. It was a good pitch down and away, but it stayed straight.
Taveras with 46 extra base hits this year. 0-2 the count. He's hit safely now in 10 of his last 11 games. Really seemed to turn the corner once we got to September. August was tough, but I don't think you can overstate really just how important the good at-bats from Taveras have been in this September turnaround. We'll take low, 1-2. A little 3-game hitting streak going. Heim the runner. Gilbert over 90 pitches, and that's outside. 2-2. He's 20 pitches into this inning. And he's huffing and puffing, boy. Two. And that's low. And he's just about out of juice. You can tell this.
Yeah. Body language. Yeah. You can see, as you mentioned, the heavy breathing right now, trying to dig deep to execute a pitch, to try to finish the inning and probably call it a night.
3-2. Inside, ball 4. Second walk of the inning. Now the Rangers with another man in scoring position, and Scott Servais is going to make that walk out to the mound.
It's kind of interesting. Right after he threw that pitch, he almost started walking toward the dugout. If Logan Gilmore was trying to sell that pitch as a strike, or that was his body language indication that he was done.
Yep, he has given it just about all he has tonight. So Scott Servais will take the baseball. Rangers with a chance to add to their lead in the 6th inning, and Matt Brash is coming on. Rangers baseball on Bally Sports is brought to you by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts and by your local DFW Kubota dealers. Together, we do more. Well, 2-0 Rangers lead. That's got them grooving. Yeah. Makes you want to move. That dude, I'll tell you what, he's earning the tips. And that is some kind of concoction. I don't know if I'd want to clean up after the guy, but listen, he's making people happy. 2 men on, 2 out, 6th inning. Evan Carter the batter, but Matt Brash, he's a tough one out on the mound. And his first pitch bounces away and heads to the backstop. Everybody moves up a base on the wild pitch.
Matt Brash comes into this one for the 75th time this year. That is the most in Major League Baseball. He's got a live arm and a really good slider. You're going to get a look at one here, but that is in the dirt. It almost bounced and hit Evan Carter, but instead it gets away. And as you mentioned, both of those runners advancing. The slider is the go-to. He's got a live fastball. It sits at 98. But a 946 OPS, the on-base plus slugging against his fastball. That is a big number. As well, he lights up the radar gun. It really is the slider that is his best pitch.
And there is the slider, that time for a strike. 1-1. Carter doubled his last time up. 1 for 2 tonight. And he hits this ball hard down the right side, but foul. Out in front of the slider a little bit that time. So 3 sliders, one of which didn't make the plate. Carter has a pretty good sense for what it's going to do at this point. And that's a foul ball. Stays 1-2.
Well, the Rangers have been really good in these spots with the 2-out runs, second most in Major League Baseball. And for the Mariners, one of the best strikeout pitchers. That's the other part of this with Matt Brash. 36% of the hitters that he has faced this year, he has struck out.
The foul ball keeps the count 1-2.
Take a look at total strikeouts here in Major League Baseball, and there is Matt Brash with 102, tied with Aroldis Chapman for second most in the game. Felix Bautista was 110. He's been out for a while. He's got a UCL injury.
Bouncer first base, and that caroms off the glove of France, but what a recovery by Caballero, and they get Carter, and the inning is done.
Yeah, nice play, but unfortunate for the Rangers, the 3-4-1. And this is why, as a pitcher, you continue to go, even if you see any kind of bobble. And there was no hesitation at all for our Matt Brash, and he was there on time.
2-0. Rangers on top. Not a lot of room as we go to the 7th. And Jordan Montgomery back out for more here. 6 shutout innings, just 5 hits allowed. You get the 8th place hitter Sam Haggerty to start things off, and Haggerty fouls off strike 1.
You can see that was pitch number 90 for Jordan Montgomery. We talked about his pitch count these last couple of starts where the Rangers have pushed him a little bit, and he has responded, delivering 7 innings in each of the last 2 outings. It took him 95 and 97 pitches. Now he's only seen triple digits twice this season. Both times that was with the St. Louis Cardinals.
This one's fouled back and into the seats. Strike 2 on Haggerty.
Nothing going right now in that Ranger bullpen for me. It feels like it would be one of those situations if somebody gets on. Of course, then you have the potential tying run at the plate that would very likely see some action down there.
Montgomery's 0-2. And a bouncer shortstop. Seager on top of it. Throws out Haggerty, one away. Well, let's check in with Emily.
Well, speaking of that bullpen, Bruce Bochy feels like they're in relatively good shape, obviously wanting to stay away from Andrew Heaney with the outing that he had yesterday. But, considering that this team is playing, a stretch of 10 games in 10 days to close out the regular season, not to mention what could possibly happen in the playoffs, you've got to be mindful of all of those things. He said he would check on Aroldis Chapman to see if he was going to be available today after his outing yesterday.
How about that fire drill right there? As Everly was talking about the bullpen, we saw Mike Maddox go to the phone. You get the ring down and everybody getting up. Your catchers, your pitchers, guys start moving around. It's instant adrenaline for everybody. And it looks like it's Jose Leclerc that's getting that call. And just sitting there, just kind of talking, shooting the breeze, spitting some seeds, and then boom. Everybody gets up and goes.
I mean, that said, they're aware of where the pitch count is, the game situation. I'm sure their minds are starting to.
No doubt. You get going, you prepare, especially when you have a guy like Bruce Bochy who runs the bullpen as well as he does, and you have a feel for who's going to get that call. Yeah, you start to get in that mode when you feel like it could be your time soon. But there's still something about that phone. I don't think it changes for anybody over the course of their career. Just like most pitchers will tell you, no matter how long they do it, they always want that little bit of nervousness when they pitch for starters. And it's the same for relievers when the phone rings.
1-2 to Caballero. And that one skips up to the dish. Montgomery went 95 pitches his last time out. 97 prior to that. This would be 97 here tonight to Caballero. It's on the way. Stays 2-2. Montgomery has been Mr. Consistency for the Rangers, and lately their ace. Here's a 2-2. And he tried to curve him. That one just fouled off by Caballero.
And remember that strikeout that he had in his last at bat. That was all the way back in the 4th inning. He chased a breaking ball really badly. It was down in the dirt. He's putting together a tough at bat though right now against Montgomery. Jonah Heim does not like this decision. Obviously, in this case, Jordan Montgomery shakes to something. Jonah's not feeling all that confident. Let's talk about it. Tell me what you're thinking. I'm going to tell you why I don't like it. This is why I'd rather do this. And what do you think? Let's make sure we're all on the same page and go execute a pitch. He's about to throw number 99. As you can see, 98 so far, 107 the season high. And this is a big deal. The fact that he's averaged 91 pitches per start this year. It is late September. And these are big starts for Jordan Montgomery, and these are big pitches right now in the 7th inning.
Well, here's a 2-2. And it's off the handle down the third base side, headed foul, and just out of reach.
Still just out of reach.
You got it. Yeah. Well, those holes aren't big enough. Wait a minute. Break it, you buy it.
I mean, while that's cool, we're not all hoping he dropped it. A kid came by and grabbed it.
Yes. 2-2 pitch. Got him swinging. Big strikeout for Jordan Montgomery. 2 away.
He wins the battle here on pitch number 100, and he does it with a changeup. And this one is perfectly executed. You have a guy in Caballero who is going to expand the strike zone. He's already shown you that, and he can't resist on a great changeup. Seemed like he kept trying to engage Jordan Montgomery. He looks out at the pitcher a lot, and Monty wasn't having it.
So now Crawford. He takes way outside ball 1. J.P. Crawford 1 for 3 tonight. Had a base hit in the 3rd inning.
So now this is just the 3rd time all season that Jordan Montgomery has faced a hitter in a game for the 4th time. They're 0 for 2.
Make it 0 for 3. A bouncer to Simeon, a 1-2-3 7th, and Jordan Montgomery gives the Rangers 7 shutout innings in one of the biggest games of the year. It's stretch time here at Globe Life Field, and we'll turn it over to Chuck Morgan.
Attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Will you please rise? Texas Rangers organist Dustin Tatro will play God Bless America.
So far, so good. 7 shutout from Montgomery. Rangers leading 2-0 into the bottom of the 7th inning. Holding on to a half-game lead over the Astros. Astros currently losing at home 3-0 to Kansas City, and a game lead over the Mariners. They're trying to make it 2 games over Seattle tonight. There is strike 1 to Marcus Semien. Semien, Seager, and Lowe in this 7th inning. Brash got the final out of the 6th, and barely. And now goes 1-1 to Marcus. And he's the first reliever up and out of that bullpen tonight for Seattle. Justin Topa has started to throw out there now. And there's a hard slider waved at and missed for strike 2.
That is interesting, and I wonder here with the Mariners being down and thinking about Brash being one of their biggest arms and maybe conserving some pitch count if he gets in trouble. I'm thinking about that part of it as well. I mean, they run deep, but this bullpen has been pushed hard, and as I mentioned, Brash has the most appearances in the league.
And he strikes out Semien. 1 out of the 7th inning. Up Corey Seager. We take a look at the batting leaders in the American League, and Corey's lead over Yandy Diaz now is at 11 points. 333 average coming into play today, and he'll add to that with a base hit right here.
Good timing, Dave, and a nice job here by Corey Seager as he gets to the Matt Brash slider. Not very many hitters have been able to do this, and Corey Seager takes him the other way. Lefty's hitting just 192 on that pitch from Matt Brash this year.
I was talking to Lowe about it today, and he stands in now. He said that thing has to start like a foot off the plate for me to even think about it. There's a good fastball for a strike. And the Brash slider has such movement on it. Lowe's like, unless it's way out there, I'm not going to bother. It's going to ride in on me. There's another heater.
And it's tight too. He's got a spin rate up over 2,800, which is a big number for the slider. You can see it. So while it's big, it is also tight. You can see why he's been so successful with it.
1-1. And he offered all fastballs. 1 and 2 on Nathaniel. So Brash certainly has him set up now if he wants to tempt him with a slider. Here it comes, and he spins it all the way down into the dirt. 2 and 2. So Seager, the base runner. Rangers with a 2-0 lead. Big crowd tonight, 36,900 here this evening. 2-2 pitch, and that's on the ground. Suarez to second, 1. Crawford over to first in time for the double play. 5-6-3, the Twin killing, and we head to the 8th tonight. It's 2-0.
Expected Jordan Montgomery's night is done, and it was a good one. 7 innings for the left-hander. That is 3 straight starts in which he has gone 7 innings, 6 strikeouts on the night, 5 hits, and of course, no runs. And that is the big number of the last 21 innings now for Jordan Montgomery. He has allowed just 1 run over that time. The Rangers have needed him, and he has delivered once again tonight. Now he hands it off to Jose Leclerc as the Rangers lead it 2-0 here in the top of the 8th inning. 6 more outs here for the Rangers to try to win game 2 of this 3-game series after winning the opener last night. 53rd game of the season for Jose Leclerc with an ERA just under 3. Now he's been scoreless in 5 of his last 7 outings. You can see that really low batting average against for Jose. He's been really good against righties. They're only hitting 148 against him. Big spot for him here tonight.
Well, his first pitch right in there. Strike 1 called to Julio Rodriguez. So 8th inning. Rangers into that bullpen, and they will be protecting a very slim 2-0 lead. Rodriguez batting with the bases empty, and he hits it to shortstop. Seager is there. 1 out. Well, let's hear from Kia.
The all-powerful Kia SUVs assembled in Georgia.
Let's talk about matchups with the bullpen, right? When do you want to use your highest leverage relievers? We know that Chapman threw yesterday. My guess would be that they would like to avoid him if possible tonight. But Jose Leclerc, no doubt, gets the biggest part of the game as the Rangers go into the bullpen. 2-3-4 with a 2-run lead.
Leclerc, the cutter right on the outside corner for a strike to Teoscar Hernandez.
What do you think? If it holds, I know we got a ways to go here, so we're going to get 2 outs. Chapman is in there. He hasn't been great back-to-back, but it's go time. The final 9 games of the season, everyone is huge. He's moving around a little bit over there, so he's certainly thinking about it.
What is that? Is that all him, by the way?
My guess would be yes. It's a little early to make that call, unless they feel like, unless he said, hey, second day, like if I'm going to go back-to-back, if you can give me a little more heads up, that would be helpful. Those kind of conversations you have with so important the communication with your coaching staff. Hey, you feeling today? Feel good? Just, you know, maybe give you a little bit more time to get ready, that kind of thing, or just even the mental preparation. Wouldn't be great if you tried to get me up in a hurry today, that all that stuff.
1-2 pitch and a swing and a miss. Hernandez strikes out, 2 away. Well, I'd say based on what Emily told us, that Boch said he would talk to him, that they probably had that conversation. He's out there now, and based on his body language, he told Boch, yeah, no, I can go. I'll be ready.
Oh, no doubt. I'm sure he's in. He's definitely a gamer. I don't doubt that for a second.
And if that's the case, if he said no, and assured them that he's fine and feels like he's got plenty in the tank, etc., then my guess is Boch wouldn't monkey around. He's going to go for it.
And the other thing that does, and the Rangers have some pretty good options from the left side anyway in their bullpen, if it does keep Jared Kelenic very lightly.
Hard smash. Young, nice play again. And they get Cal Raleigh.
How about the leather here tonight by the Rangers, but especially Josh Young once again right in the middle of everything. Tough hop, fields it cleanly, and throws a strike over to Nathaniel Lowe.
Rangers baseball on Bally Sports is brought to you by Baylor Scott & White Health, changing healthcare for the better, and by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts. Well, here at Globe Life Field, 2-0 Rangers with the lead, and boy, they would love to add some insurance to that. It'll be Josh Young, Adelis Garcia, Jonah Heim this inning. Justin Topa will be the new pitcher.
In game number 71, I mentioned Matt Brash with his 75 most in Major League Baseball. Topa is now tied for 3rd in baseball with his 71 games, but it's been a really good year for him. But you can see, not a big strikeout pitcher necessarily. Heavy ground balls, 58% for Topa this year. That is a really big number.
Young has made a bunch of great defensive plays tonight. His He's 0 for 3 at the plate. The rookie third baseman, he's been a big part of this one so far. 2-0 Rangers. Bouncer shortstop Crawford, a little hop step, and he throws out Young.
All right, so as we get ready for this 9th inning, we see no action right now in the Ranger bullpen, which tells me that Jose Leclerc is going back out. We did see a conversation with Aroldis Chapman happening in between innings, so at least telling him maybe potentially to be ready. But you can see Leclerc going over a scouting report there with Mike Maddox, so he's going back out.
Garcia takes run to the outside corner for a strike. I kind of like that, right? When you've got a guy who he looked really sharp there.
He did.
Then you know, why not, right? Why take the chances if you feel comfortable that he can come back out?
And Jose will do whatever you ask him, right? He's been so great about that since he's been in the big leagues here with the Rangers. The counter to that would be, as I mentioned, right? It was such a big spot for him to come in 2-3-4 in a 2-run game, and there's a lot of adrenaline that goes into that, and he delivered and did great. And it's like, well, he did his job, and it's been a little bit of an up and down year. Do you get him out of there because he gave you such a great 8th inning? And again, that comes down to really knowing your guys and which ones kind of lay it all out there for an inning and know you got to get him out of there. Which ones can you put back out for a potential another inning?
2-strike pitch to Garcia, and he'll hit this one sharply up the middle. That's through, base hit. A big base runner in the bottom of the 8th.
So we have tracked Adolis Garcia and what he has done in these City Connect uniforms. He's been great. Somebody's got to start tracking what he has done in these shoes, because it's been a good night for him with a couple of hits and a walk, and both of the runs scored have been Adolis Garcia. Remember, we saw him steal a base too, and so you wonder if that's a possibility. 6 stolen bases against Justin Topa this season.
Boy, Topa just got one heck of a call right there to Jonah Heim for strike 1. Heim 1 for 2 with a walk. We have seen that corner in particular get a little extra tonight. That's high. 1-1. So here's the thing about Leclerc coming back out, though. It was only 8 pitches. That seems to me to be a significant number in that it's very small.
Yeah, I like the call. I think it does make some sense. And you know, part of that, again, you mentioned what Emily said and thinking about Chapman. He hasn't been great in back-to-back games. The second day hasn't been good for him, so I get why you may want to try to avoid it. Again, you're going to push him hard the rest of the way here. But if you can get through with just Leclerc, I mean, that would be huge going into tomorrow.
1-1 pitch, up and out. So Jose Leclerc, it has been quite a ride for him over the years here with the Rangers. He'll go back out looking to get a couple of huge outs for this team. Up 2-0 at the moment. He could still add to it. Ball 3 to Jonah.
And I would think there'd be a pretty decent chance that we would see Jarred Kelenic. I was mentioning, what do they have from the left side? Because Jose's dominated righties. And that's something he has to be ready for, a potential pinch hitter and Jarred Kelenic coming off the bench.
Heim was going for it right there. Full count now.
Suarez, France, Moore. Those are your 3 righties that are due. We talked a lot about Ty France. To me, France and Moore are the spots. And you could be seeing some pinch hitters. And that's perhaps why they want Chapman to think about getting ready. They go to lefties. Boom, here comes a hundo.
3-2. And a swing and a miss. Heim strikes out. 2 gone in the 8th inning. Well, for what it's worth, Leclerc has good numbers against all those guys.
It's a cutter here, top of the zone. Didn't cut necessarily a ton, but at 94 miles an hour, you can see that grip. When you come from that angle, every pitch is going to act a little bit different, almost kind of an upshoot type of cutter, if you will.
quick look over there at Garcia, who stole his 9th base of the year back in the 4th inning. He's the only guy who has found home plate tonight. He did it in the 2nd and in the 4th. He's going again. The pitch is high. The throw to second, a good one. They got him. Garcia thrown out to end the 8th inning. And that sets the stage. It's a 2-0 Rangers lead, and Jose Leclerc coming out for the 9th. Rangers baseball on Bally Sports is brought to you by Spectrum One. 3 great services working as one. Visit Spectrum.com for details. We've reached the 9th inning tonight here in Arlington. It's down the road from Fort Worth. Rangers up 2-0. The pilot has advised tray tables and seat backs in their upright and locked positions. Go ahead and make sure that you're belted in, folks. It'll be Suarez, France, and more due this inning. Leclerc out for his 2nd inning, and his first pitch is off the plate, ball 1. Aroldis Chapman has picked up a baseball. He's put the pitch comm in the hat and has started to loosen in the pin. Leclerc just does nibble off the bottom of the zone. 1-1.
I mean, this is about as fun as it gets right now. Absolutely fantastic drama kind of building here, and love to see Jose Leclerc deliver for the Rangers.
Just off the plate with a slider. 2-1. Leclerc 3 saves this year in 8 save opportunities. But doesn't matter how we got to this point. What matters is how he handles this. And there is a swing and a miss. 2-2. Suarez is a good strikeout candidate. He's already punched out once tonight. Leads the league with 203 strikeouts so far this year. Leclerc has struck him out twice before. The 2-2.
Oh! And give him credit. As much as he strikes out, kind of shocking to see that the chase rate is better than league average for him, right? You think about a guy that strikes out a lot, means he's probably chasing at pitches outside the strike zone. He's actually decent at it. And that was a borderline pitch that just missed downstairs. That was the cutter from Leclerc.
That's a big one right here. 3-2, and it's popped up. Heading foul, and that one is out of play. And we say it all the time, how important it is to get that first guy in an inning. And to me, even bigger is to make sure that it's not a walk.
Yeah, there's a psychological component to that I would agree with.
That makes this an awfully big pitch tonight. Maybe the biggest of the night. And a foul ball.
It's a really fun strategy. All of it that's going on right now with Chapman beginning to throw. If you're Scott Service, you're playing the game right now. You know Chapman is up. Do I want my left-handed pinch hitters facing Aroldis Chapman, or do I want my righties that are in the lineup right now to face Jose Leclerc?
3-2. Got him swinging. A fastball right past Suarez. 1 away in the 9th.
That's the thing of beauty right there. Just rearing back and letting it go. 98-mile-an-hour heat. And perfectly located, and another big swing there from Suarez. He tried to hit that to the old ballpark.
And now a first pitch strike to tie France. France 1 for 3.
I really think that's it, right? We've talked a lot about France and the struggles. 1 for 4. You can see the numbers there against Leclerc. I think right now Scott Service is trying to keep Chapman out of the game.
A liner out to left. That gets down, base hit. France will take a big turn but hold with a 1-out single in the 9th. So it gets a potential tying run up to the plate, and they've just asked Jonah to go ahead and go out for a conversation, check in on that bullpen. So
Familiar with that sign? I feel like you do that to me pretty often. Not with all your talking, but in this case, they want Jonah to go ahead and go out and talk, and they're going to wait first to make sure that the pinch hitter is announced. Jarred Kelenic is. Now Jonah Heim will go out, and that's a really smart job by Jonah. Take as much time as you possibly can. When they know that this visit is about wasting time, don't go out there until you absolutely have to. And so he waited for the official announcement of Jarred Kelenic. That gave Chapman some more time, and I don't know if you picked up on it. We showed you the bullpen shot there for Brett Hayes. He gave that sign to go ahead and get going and get it going quickly here. And Jonah Heim will wait for Jim Wolf to come out every second he possibly can. And then the question becomes, is Bruce Bochy now coming to get Jose Leclerc to bring in Aroldis Chapman? See everyone looking in that nobody knows. Like even Corey Seager's like, oh, I wonder what the move is. He's looking in to see what's going on with Boch.
Boch is pretending that he's looking for information elsewhere. He knows what he's going to do.
I think he's waiting on Maddox to make sure he's ready. He wants to get the phone call from the bullpen to say, yes, he's ready to go.
And there he goes. So Bochy heads out there to get the baseball from Leclerc. Bought all the time they could. Aroldis Chapman, the veteran left-hander. He's warm and ready to go. 1 out, 9th inning. And the Rangers up by 2. Well, here we go. 2-0. Rangers on top. And Chapman is just about set. And taking his warm-up tosses here in the 9th.
59th game overall for the big left-hander. He's got himself 320 career saves and looking for number 321. You got a 4-seam fastball that averages 99. The slider has been great. The 2-seamer, though, that has been the go-to pitch. That one sits at 101 miles an hour on average. We've seen it as high as 103. Just a 0.99 batting average against that one. And he does have the split in there as well. You know what I like, Dave, here? Just a little first pitch, 2-seam fastball, ground ball.
Yeah.
Let's get a 1-pitch save and get out of here.
That would be a perfect way to finish this one off.
Too greedy?
No, I don't think so. I think that's reasonable. So France returns to first base. Kelenic, who had been announced as the pinch hitter, steps in, and the first offering from Chapman, and that bounces to the plate and all the way to the backstop. And what is going on here? That won't count. There was a violation before the pitch, so the runner will have to go back to first. France unable to advance. It's a ball regardless. Just no wild pitch.
And who knows, maybe that comes back to help the Rangers here a little bit. Yeah, it's very interesting. I wonder if he kind of knew that was coming and slowed down. I don't know.
It was interesting. There wasn't an indication earlier from Jim Wolf. The clock had clearly hit 0 well in advance of the attempted pitch. So much so that you wonder if that's what Chapman, if he saw that and that's what affected the way he delivered the pitch.
Kelenic looked like he was taking all the way. He's got 3 plate appearances against Chapman, 2 walks.
The 1-0 pitch. Whoa. Ball 2.
Take a look at the fastball here. This is a 4-seamer. And they're trying to go away and perhaps just a little bit overthrown or trying to feel for it a little bit with Chapman.
Oh my. Now, if you look at the numbers on Chapman, you'll see when he pitches on back-to-back days, the command seems to be the most elusive part of it for him. A much higher walk rate as he sneaks that one in there. His slider for a strike. I mean, he's walked more batters in innings pitched this year when he's pitched in successive days.
Yeah, this is 11 games that he has done this. This is now number 12. But in the 11 games where he's gone on no rest, 13 walks in there, 8 2/3. However, 16 strikeouts. So a little bit of everything.
He has just put Kelenic aboard. And another confrontation between those two that ends with a Kelenic walk. So 2 men are on, 9th inning. And here is Sam Haggerty. 7 shutout innings today from Jordan Montgomery. Leclerc ending in a third scoreless, though he is responsible for France. And there's a strike to Haggerty. Luis Torrens has come out into the on-deck circle. So if he would hit for Caballero. One strike pitch, and that's low. 1-1. There they are, the potential tying runs. And this one in the air, center field. Coming on for it, Taveras. He'll make the catch. 2 away.
How about Leote with the explosive speed here? You got a breaking ball, and this one is not hit hard at all. It's below the label, and so it's not going to get hit very hard, but you're going to get sometimes fooled by that swing. And he did a great job, that little back step, reading the ball, and then sprinting right to the spot.
So Chapman gets a second out of the inning. Torrens is announced and steps to the plate. This might be the most enthusiastic crowd we've had all year. 2 men on, 2 out, 9th inning. And that's low, ball 1 to Torrens.
Torrens has been a pretty decent pinch hitter over the course of his career. 12 for 36. 333 batting average, including 2 for 4 this season.
That looked pretty good. That's a strike. 1-1. The bottom of the zone has been open tonight at times, and that was well placed by Chapman. The flame-throwing lefty to the plate. That one lined is short, taken on a short hop by Seager, and they get him at first. This one is over, and the Rangers escape with a 2-0 win over the Mariners. They've secured the tie-break advantage, and they increased their lead in the division to a full game.
And credit to Aroldis Chapman. You talked about some of those struggles on back-to-back days, and he shows up and he gets it done. The defense today behind Ranger pitching was fantastic, but the man of the hour, Jordan Montgomery, coming up big once again out of that rotation. 7 shutout innings and a really nice 2-0 win here tonight for the Rangers.
An excited crowd of nearly 37,000 heading home happy tonight. 2-0 the score. We'll wrap it up in a moment.